What is going on, you wonderful people? I'm your host, Wonderstruck, and I am back with another r/entitled parents. This is going to be our fourth one and the last one for a little bit, just for the sheer fact of this is basically just a view booster for most channels, and I still kind of want to do the other type of r/s and make some other type of videos as well. I hope that doesn't hurt or make a lot of you mad me saying that. Anyways, I just wanted to say thank you so much for stopping by. It really means the world that you are here, and without further ado, I'll stop wasting your time. Let's get right into the r/entitled parents. Entitled kid tries to steal my birthday present. An entitled parent lets it happen, then yells at my brother for getting them back. Okay, so starting out, this was a few years ago, so my memory isn't the best on this story. Anyways, so when I was 6 or 7, I had my birthday party down at the local park. Invited all my friends and I was having a lot of fun, eating lollipops, drinking soft drinks, and having beanbag races. So there was a parent and her kid, EP and Ek, who I did not know, that decided to join in. Sure, the more the merrier. Me and my friends didn't really pay much attention to Ek because Ek wasn't invited, but we let him join in. So a bit of time goes past and we noticed one of our beanbags was gone. We looked around and saw the entitled parent and Ek walking off with the bag. So my brother and me run over to the entitled parent and try to get it back off Ek. The entitled parent says nothing, but Ek won't give it back. No words were spoken from them. Me and my brother kept pulling on the bag and tried to get it back, telling Ek multiple times, "Let it go!" and "Give it back!" Ek finally let go and we went back to my party. No biggie, party continues. Ek and the entitled parent come back when I'm opening my presents. Luckily, my brother saw Ek taking my presents and taking off with them. The entitled parent was holding his hand as they ran off with, I think it was about 3, of my still wrapped presents. My brother snatches the boxes back off Ek and he apparently cried. I was still with the actual party and didn't notice much of this until my brother got the presents and the entitled parent was shouting at my brother and what we think was Indian. My brother returns with all my presents, "Thank you very much," and the entitled parent shouts something at us and drags her crying kid to the car. To this day, my family still has no clue who this entitled kid was and what relations the entitled parent had with anyone, and we assume the entitled parent told Ek to take whatever he felt like, so Ek did. Entitled mom calls police on my roommate. This happened about 20 years ago. I shared a house with 3 other guys. On New Year's Eve, we decided to have a party and we're planning to have about a dozen people over. All of us, and our guests, are around 30 years of age, so of course there was lots of booze on hand. About 8 p.m., my roommate's sister shows up with her 3 kids who were between 5 and 10 years old, wanting him to babysit because they decided at last minute to go out and it's impossible to find a babysitter on New Year's Eve. He told her he couldn't babysit because we were having a party. Also that he couldn't watch the kids because we had already been drinking for about 3 hours. She said that he should tell everyone to leave because it was more important for her to go out. She also said that it was fine because he would sober up quickly. He refused and closed the door on her. About 20 minutes later, the police arrived because his sister called them saying that he refused to let the kids in the house and made them sit in the front porch when it was about 10 degrees outside because he was allegedly throwing a party for underage people. About 8 or so officers entered the house demanding to see my roommate. When he identified himself, he was handcuffed and told he was being arrested for endangering the welfare of 3 minors. Needless to say, after the police were told what was going on and checking the ID of everyone in the house, they weren't too happy with his sister. She was charged and convicted with filing a false police report. As far as I know, they've never spoken to each other since that night. Entitled mom wants me to lie about witnessing sexual harassment to protect her son.
So I teach 8th grade, and a few months ago I had a female student come up to me in private and tell me that a male student in her class was sexually harassing her. She shows me text messages that he has sent her detailing highly graphic sexual things that he wants to do to her, and tells me some of the things he has said to her when they are in the halls. She tells me that she has asked him to stop repeatedly, but he is still doing it, and she wants me to help keep him away from her in class. So before I file a report to have guidance and admin investigate the issue, I spend a class period keeping a close eye on the 2 of them to see if I can confirm or deny anything she's saying. Once I'm looking for it, I observe the male student doing things like licking his lips at her from the other side of the room, hovering around her, and finding reasons to walk past her desk. I personally overhear him make a sexual comment about her to another student. Based on what I've seen, I go ahead with referring the boy to admin for sexual harassment and make contact with parents of both students to inform them that the issue will be investigated contacted by the school and possible disciplinary action will be taken. I don't make direct contact with the boy's mother, but I leave her a voicemail and ask that she call me back. The next day I'm in my planning period and I get a call from the office saying there's a parent there waiting for a meeting. Now our policy is that parent meetings must be scheduled in advance and logged with the office. I don't have any meetings scheduled today, but I have time, so I decide to go and see what's up. It turns out to be the male student's mother in the office. She very nicely asks if we can talk face to face about what's going on, and for some dumb reason I agree, even though usually we like to have another teacher or staff member present for meetings. So we go in for a conference and I go over the allegations, avoiding names. I tell her that a female student has accused her son of sexual harassment, and I saw enough evidence in class to refer it to the office for investigation.
Now, what exactly did you hear? Because I know my son, he would never harass the girl. He might say something stupid that got taken the wrong way, but that's just not who he is. So, what exactly did you hear him say? I want to know what this girl is saying about him.
I saw him licking his lips at her and overheard him say to another boy that he wanted to ride that ass all night.
What do you mean licking his lips? He gets chapped lips. He might not be doing it to harass some girl. She can't just say some things about him to try and ruin his life. I know my son, and he is not that kind of person, no matter what some girl says.
Well, admin and guidance are going to investigate, and based on what they find, they'll be in touch with you.
So wait, what did you tell them? You can't just go and say my son is harassing a girl based upon what one person says. He's already been suspended twice, and now you're going to get him expelled just because some girl wants to get him in trouble for no reason?
Now I'm thinking, why did I do this? Mom is getting worked up, I have no one else there, and my next class starts soon. I repeat that I just reported the things the girl said and the things I saw, and that it'll be investigated. I reiterate that I'm not the one making any final decision, and if she has an issue, she needs to talk to the principal.
Well, the principal hates my son. She's not going to listen. You need to go and tell them that this is all nonsense. You saw him licking his lips because they were chapped. I'm not going to have all this harassment bullshit.
Again, if you have an issue, I'm not the one to talk to. I just reported what I saw. They'll look into it.
But you didn't see anything, and you need to tell them that. I'm telling you, I know my son, and you've got this all wrong. If he gets expelled because you don't know what you saw, it's going to be your fault.
I eventually talk her down enough to get her to leave. I report to admin that the parent is hostile about the accusations and go about my day. They end up investigating and find hard evidence that he was actually sexually harassing 3 different girls. The boy got expelled.
Entitled Dad is going to call my CEO to get me fired if I don't let him and his precious YouTuber son cut in line. Background: I worked at a AAA gaming company and we had a booth at a convention for a first look at the game. The line was about 4 hours long and you got to play the game for 10 minutes. Personally, I don't think it's worth the wait. We did let press cut the line if you had an appointment with us or if you worked for a notable company like Kotaku or IGN. Lots of people had press passes for ridiculous things like mymomsbasementgamereview.com. It was ridiculously easy to get a press pass at this convention, so we had to be diligent. Anyways, there's this break in our line and this guy and his son tries to sneakily stand in the break. Luckily, the people at the convention are line snobs because they've been waiting forever and grab my attention. I walk up to him. The line ends back there, I say, pointing to the long line. The father just replies with, "We don't have time to wait all the way back there. Besides, my son is a reviewer." Shows me his press pass. I take a look at it and his son is a YouTuber. Look up his channel and he has like 500 subscribers. "I'm sorry, we can't make exceptions for you. Please go to the back of the line." "Listen, I'm very good friends with the CEO of this company. I can just make one call and get you fired." "Okay, sure, go ahead." I watch him fumble with his phone and make a fake call. The dad, now realizing his faking it isn't really going well, "He didn't pick up. Let me talk with your manager." Sure. We've had a lot of entitled people during the convention, so it was decided that when people asked for a manager, we would bring out my 6'4" intimidating looking coworker. My coworker comes and the entitled dad continues to explain how his son is a famous YouTuber and would be reviewing the game, and we weren't making a good first impression, and his kid chimes in that he could make or break this game. Coworker laughs in their face and says, "Yeah, I'm sure you could ruin us. Now get to the back of the line before I call security and kick you out of this convention." Before they leave, the kid takes out his camera and points it at me and my manager, and his dad looks at our name tags and says, "Good luck ever working in this industry again after we make a video about how terribly we were treated here." 3 years later, I'm still working in games. I have no idea if the entitled dad's son has any more subscribers though. Parent uses autistic child to try and get a discount. I live in a small town in basically the middle of nowhere. Everyone here either knows everyone or at least knows of everyone. Ask say this because if you know anything about small towns, you know that when someone new shows up in town, people will generally try and get to know them and bring them into the community. We still regret talking to this lady an entire year later. She moved here seemingly out of nowhere. No one had realized one of the new houses in the rich part of town had been sold until this lady started appearing around the town. Nothing unusual, but with our nice little community getting to know her, she seemed to get this idea she was more special or above other people, and that all came to a climax at my work one day. The lady came into work and got a basket for her things. Nothing unusual, just a few basic things like soap, some fruit and veggies, etc. She came up to the counter to pay with a kid behind her, about 13, maybe 14 years old. At first things went fine. The girl at the counters put through the lady's items and things were going well. My coworker was doing well too, seeing as she was pretty new at the time. Then the lady asked if we sold smokes. Being more of a general store than anything, we of course do. She asked for the most expensive combination of smokes possible and brings her total up by about $90, putting her just above $120. Then the lady starts to get annoyed and I do my job as the acting supervisor and most senior member currently working while the actual supervisor is busy with urgent matters. I walk up calmly and ask the lady, who is slowly showing herself to be an entitled mother, if there was a problem. The lady whips around to face me and is visibly frustrated. The conversation went like this.
This young girl is refusing to give me a discount.
And the problem with that is,
She expects me to pay over $100 for this?
indicates to a half basket of groceries plus expensive cigarettes. I'm sorry, ma'am, but the prices are set as they are by our manager. We have no control over what they are.
But you do. You can give discounts, can't you?
Discounts are for staff only.
But I can't pay for all this.
Then you'll have to return some items until it's within your budget.
Can't you just give me a discount?
She is getting more annoyed now. Sorry, ma'am, but I can't.
I have an autistic child. Do you have so little morals you can't help a poor mother?
The teen looks at his mother with a look of pure confusion. It's obvious she's talking shit. Disabilities or any other sort of special cases have no effect on how we treat you, ma'am.
This is bullshit.
Ma'am, can you please not swear? There are other customers in the store.
Good. Let them hear how selfish you are for not giving me a discount.
I'm only doing my job.
Your job is to serve customers, so serve me and do what I want. This bitch is too stupid to do it.
She points at my coworker.
So how about you?
Getting serious now. Ma'am, I'm gonna say this one final time. We can't give discounts to anyone other than staff. If you can't afford the item, then don't buy them. Now can you please stop making a scene?
Give me a discount and I'll pay for the stuff.
Ma'am, you are being very difficult and disturbing both my coworkers and other customers. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. This is where things got even worse. The lady got right up in my face and started screaming about every bad thing that could happen to a person under the sun to try to gain my sympathy. This lady claimed to be homeless, a soldier with PTSD, an ex-staff member, and a rape victim. She then asked to see management, which at the time was basically me, as there was still no supervisor and the manager wasn't in today. I told her that I'm currently in charge as I am the most senior member working. She started having to spit to me about how I'm too young to manage staff and that I should lose my job for my selfishness. I was officially tired of this lady. Any more, I would have lost it. I walk over to the microphone we have for calling people up from out back or the cold rooms and ask for security, aka our fruit boy for the day. We'll call him Bob. See, Bob is a very large and muscular man who is easily over 6'5" at least and is amazing at carrying boxes to stock shelves as well as being the most intimidating presence in a room. When Bob comes up to the counter, I indicate towards the entitled mom and tell Bob that she has been causing a scene. Bob starts slowly walking towards her. She shouted out to
Keep the fucking stuff.
as she ran out the door. For reference, her son, 1, doesn't have autism, he has told me himself at school. 2, comes to school with AirPods and Vans, so they are far from poor. Ma'am, please shut up about the tokens. So, I have many entitled parent stories about my boyfriend's mother, including more from this very same trip, but here's just a taste of what I have in store for you over my tenure here. My boyfriend, their cool brother, their mother, let's just call her Helen, and I went down to Southern California for a funeral in my boyfriend's family. While down there, we also went to Disneyland. It just so happened that Helen had planned for us to go to the Rainforest Cafe for lunch one day that we were there. For a bit of context, the first part, my boyfriend's shoes were absolutely demolished by Splash Mountain, while mine were generally unscathed, and bro was dry from the knee down. Don't know how he pulled that one off. We were trying to go back to our hotel room to switch out my boyfriend's shoes, but Helen kept on barricading us from doing so that we
Didn't miss out on all the rides.
from a 20-minute walk there and back. So we meet Helen at the Rainforest Cafe and take our seats around the table by two elephants. At first, all is nice, but then my boyfriend lays his head on my shoulder because he's tired and his feet are in pain and pruning from the water.
Stop being so pathetic.
You're not pathetic.
Why are you whispering?
I wasn't.
It's not nice to whisper. Everyone should be able to hear what you have to say. You can't be hiding things from people at the table.
I said they're not pathetic. Helen just shoots daggers at me, but I just look casually back at her. Helen then proceeds to go on a few-minute-long tirade about how I was out of line and shouldn't talk to her like that, and all the while I come from my boyfriend and meet her with a destructive, seething rage skillfully veiled as kind patience. She's cut short by our waitress, who wanted to tell us about these character cups that we could get.
If you want one, you should get them now. Today is the last day before we close down. Oh, you should do something for that.
Yeah, we have a little party celebration thing going on in the break room.
Oh yeah, nice. But what about the customers? We should get a token.
The waitress is visibly uncomfortable.
You know, like a token? Like something to commemorate. Like a token.
The waitress asks if we're ready to order, then leaves when she learns we haven't decided. Another waitress 2, comes to our table.
Hey, are y'all ready to order? I think so. You know, they really should do something for this place closing down. Yeah, we have a party going on in the break room. Well, if you guys are shutting down anyways, maybe we can take one of these guys.
She points to an elephant beside her.
Yeah, I don't actually know what's gonna happen to those guys.
Helen now being a little more serious.
Well, why don't you give them to someone?
The waitress too is now visibly uncomfortable.
I'll see if we can do something like that.
We all proceed to order. Boyfriend and I got the cups because we're kinda infants. Then once the second waitress bolts, Helen starts talking to us. Helen's all feet up saying,
You know, we really deserve a token for being here on the last day. We spend money here and they can't even give us a token?
it's nice they're doing something for the staff.
Yeah.
Yet another waitress comes by with her food, and once again Helen loudly brings up a
Token.
but this waitress ignores her, simply saying,
Here you go, have a nice day.
taking the udon out, adding some beef, adding some green onion, adding some sesame. Ooh, looking like a snack. Oh, hey there everybody, just wanted to say thank you so much for watching the video. It really does mean the world to me. Thank you so much for stopping by. I know I've been posting a lot of these, so it's probably getting a bit tiresome. So just wanted to say, again, thank you for stopping by and bearing through. I do plan on doing something like a cooking video like y'all have been asking me to do, and some other regular Reddit videos like how I used to do before on the channel. So again, just wanted to say thank you so much for stopping by, and y'all have a wonderful day. Take care, and bye. Just another r/entitled parents. You know what? Fuck this. This is just a view addiction. You, my good friend, are going in the trash where you belong. Ugh. Boys, we back.